Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the chaos. Today we're diving into a wild project that's part revenge, part home improvement, and 100% petty. So picture this. My HOA Karen decided to trespass on my property, complain about my lawn, and leave a nasty note about my unkempt flower beds. Big mistake, Karen. Instead of arguing, I decided to send a message the best way I know how, by building a DIY moat around my property line. That's right, a moat like I'm defending a medieval castle. In this video, we're gonna dig, build, and laugh our way through this epic project, complete with some hilarious HOA reactions. Let's get started. Alright, let's set the scene. I've lived in this neighborhood for a couple of years, and for the most part, it's chill. But then there's Karen, the HOA's unofficial enforcer. She's the type who measures your grass with a ruler and sends you a violation notice if your mailbox is half an inch too tall. A few weeks ago, I caught her on my security camera walking onto my property, poking at my rose bushes, and leaving a note that basically said my yard was an embarrassment to the neighborhood. Excuse me? My yard's fine. So I thought, how do I keep Karen out without breaking any HOA rules? Fences are boring and signs didn't work. Then it hit me, a moat. Not a deep alligator-filled one, don't worry. I'm not that crazy, but a decorative water feature that screams, "Stay off my land." Plus, it'll look awesome. Before we start digging, let's talk about the plan. I want a shallow, narrow trench along the front edge of my property, right where it meets Karen's side. It'll be about 2 feet wide, 1 foot deep, and lined with waterproof material. Then, I'll add a small pump to keep water flowing, some cool LED lights for nighttime vibes, and maybe a few fake lily pads for that moat aesthetic. The goal? Make it look like I'm protecting my castle while staying within HOA guidelines, because you know Karen's gonna check. I did some research, and as long as it's classified as a landscaping water feature, I'm golden. Let's see Karen complain about this. Time to hit the store. I headed to my local hardware spot and grabbed everything I needed for this moat. We've got a sturdy shovel, a heavy-duty plastic liner to keep the water in, a small water pump for that flowing stream effect, and some cheap solar-powered LED lights because I'm fancy on a budget. Total cost? About $150, which is way cheaper than a fence and way more fun. Oh, and I got some decorative rocks and fake plants to make it look legit. Pro tip, always check the clearance section for stuff like this. You'd be surprised what you can find. Now the fun part, digging. Let me tell you, digging a trench is no joke. I started at the corner of my lot, right where Karen's been sneaking over. The ground was tough, and I hit like 3 rocks in the first 10 minutes. Curse you, boulder! But seriously, if you're doing this at home, make sure you call 811 to check for underground utilities before you dig. Safety first, pettiness second. After a few hours and a lot of sweat, I had a nice even trench along the property line. It's starting to look like something straight out of a fairy tale. With the trench done, it's time to make this thing watertight. I rolled out the plastic liner, smoothed it into the trench, and secured it with some of those decorative rocks. This part's like wrapping a giant present, except it's for Karen. Next, I set up the water pump. This little guy will keep the water moving so it doesn't get all gross and mosquito-y. I hooked it up to a hose for now, but I might connect it to a rain barrel later to be eco-friendly. Once the liner was in and the pump was ready, I filled the moat with water. Look at that. It's alive. Now for the fun stuff, making it pretty. I dropped in some solar-powered LED lights along the edges blue and green to give it that mystical moat vibe. Then, I added a few fake lily pads and some plastic fish for extra flair. You're gonna scare Karen away, right, buddy? I also sprinkled in some smooth river rocks to make it look natural. Honestly, It's starting to look less like a moat and more like a fancy water feature you'd see in a magazine. Karen's gonna hate how good this looks. So the moat's done, and it's time for the moment of truth. Karen's reaction. I didn't have to wait long. The next morning, I'm sipping my coffee, and I see her out there with her clipboard, staring at my moat like it personally insulted her. I swear, she looked like she was about to call a lawyer. But here's the best part. She can't do anything about it. I checked the HOA rules. Water features are allowed as long as they're maintained, and trust me, this baby's pristine. I gave her a little wave from my porch, and she stormed off. Victory! Check this out at night. Those LED lights are chef's kiss. It's like my yard turned into a fantasy movie set. The water's flowing, the lights are glowing, and I'm pretty sure my property value just went up. Plus, no more trespassing Karen. I haven't seen her cross the line since the moat went in. Maybe she's scared she'll fall in, or maybe she just knows she's been outsmarted. Either way, I'm calling this a win. And there you have it, folks, my DIY moat, built to keep the HOA at bay and make my yard the coolest on the block. If you enjoyed this petty adventure, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you've ever had to deal with an HOA, Karen. Should I add a drawbridge next? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss my next crazy project. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.